And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, elephants and zebras, gypsies and fairies. So this video, hopefully I can make it without, because my hard drive is pretty much full. And sometimes when I go to make a video, it doesn't work. So anyway, I saw one of the keen fascists the other day. And before seeing him, I was like, you know what? Their leader looks a lot like Joseph Goebbels. And so that's what I'm going to title this video. And I was thinking, he looks a lot like Joseph Goebbels. And not just that, he's also a propagandist, and so was Goebbels. So I'm like, wow, I wonder if he's Goebbels reincarnated. But I saw one of the fascists in the market, market grocery store, that European in me coming out. I saw one of his followers in the market the other day, and he had his little nautical radio on his hip, and I can carry a radio too. I mean, but this is a better radio. But you have to have a license to use this one. Well, to talk on it, you do. So he had his little radio on his hip, and he had his gun. Why? What's the point? That really wasn't an issue for me. Somebody having a gun, I could care less. Sometimes I carry. I used to carry more than I do now. Actually, there's a shotgun sitting right there, and there's a flintlock sitting right there, and there are other guns in the house. I'm not paranoid. I don't need to carry a gun. Just because I can do something doesn't mean I will do that thing. You can carry a gun in New Hampshire, concealed or open. It's not illegal. Although just because there's a law doesn't mean the law is right or good or anything like that. But I'm not paranoid, so I don't need to carry one. And these fascists, if they get arrested by the police, which is common, or at least it used to be common, what, are you going to pull your gun on the cop? I hope not. But then, knowing you guys, because, knowing you guys, one of you would wind up doing that. And then, like 90% would say, oh, well, he's not a part of us, or she's not one of us. When in reality, that person is. It's like back in San Antonio, Tejas, there's this guy who was involved with the Bandidos, the motorcycle gang, and he murdered a singer, a very popular singer, and at a party where the Bandidos were. And then after that, the Bandidos were like, oh, well, he's not a part of us, he's not really one of us. And but he definitely was one of them. I've never personally known any Bandidos, but I have known 2 or 3 people that, well, in one case was related to a high-ranking member of the Bandidos. So had neighbors who were involved with them. They never caused any problems that I was aware of, but they were neighbors, and for 6 years. And then somebody else I knew, he claims he used to play guitar for him. Well, I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. But anyway, so this old boy is in the market, in the store, in the grocery store, and he notices me. I could care less if you notice me or not. I made it a point to walk by him a few extra times. I could have walked down another aisle, but I'm like, I've done this before with them when they act up because they act like 5-year-olds. I mean, if you think about it, they throw temper tantrums. They're really not just childish, but just, well, they are. They're just very immature, paranoid, violent, lying people. At one point, one of them, because I found another friend from high school recently, and at one point, because I had mentioned somebody's name, they made a fake profile on Facebook and tried to friend me. They have all sorts of fake groups on Facebook, pretending to be other people. It's really sad, but that's typical of cults. It's typical of gangs. It's they do things like that. I mean, why should I believe anything they say? I mean, you lie through your teeth. Why should I believe you? You put up an image of yourself, but then when people meet you and get to know you, you turn out to be totally different than what you project initially, what you project. But so this old boy notices me, so he makes sure his gun, that I see it. Well, I could care less if you have a gun. It doesn't scare me. Why would you do that? First of all, when I carry, I wear a holster. It's a safety issue. Even if I have it tucked in my waistband or outside my waistband, it's in a holster. It's a safety issue. Anybody could have walked up to that idiot, pulled that gun out, and started causing trouble. Actually, he could have done it because they're that kind of people. You remember, I was once a part of this group. Not for very long, thankfully, but I was once a part of it. It's a cult. It's a gang. And their membership is actually very low, and their membership, and they want to say, well, we don't have members. Yes, you do have members, regardless of what you call them. They're still members. Participants, activists, members, whatever. It's all the same. But yeah, their dear leader, he looks like Joseph Goebbels. It's interesting. It's interesting that their leader looks like Goebbels, and that their leader is a propagandist like Goebbels was. I just hope that the FBI arrests their dear leader on the child porn issue, because they seized his computer, amongst other things. And then they've already made one arrest. I've tried to find the information and I haven't been able to find it. I heard it on the TV, I think, up in Grafton County. They did arrest one person because of what they found on that person's computer, on that fascist pig's computer. So, but hopefully, we haven't heard the end of that, because he does need to be in prison. Not just that, he was sleeping with a 14-year-old child. She eventually left him because she said he's having orgies with underage children. Well, that's redundant. There are orgies and there are children involved. I don't care if they're 14. I don't care if they're 12. I don't care. They're still children. Like it or not, they are still children. But he was spreading STDs to people and so forth and so on. And this girl, she matured a lot faster than he did. I don't know how old he is now, in his 30s or 40s. Well, she was in her 20s, and she was more mature than him. That's pretty darn sad. But I was saying earlier, they made a fake profile of an old friend of mine from high school. I wasn't in high school very long. I was in alternative places. And there's this guy, I haven't mentioned his name in a long time, maybe years. But They made a fake profile of him, and I looked at the picture. I'm like, first of all, that's not you. That's not him. Okay? That was not him. Second, he never knew me by my name, by the name I use today. He never knew me by that name. I wasn't using that name then. I've been using this name for some 20, 30 years. It is my name. I go by it. Everybody I know, even who knows my legal name, doesn't call me by that name. They call me by my preferred name. It's still my name. It's still the same name. It's just in a different language. There are only two names that I go by. One is in Spanish, Jaime, or Jaime. That's why I'm from Spain. And the other is Seamus. That's the Irish form of my name. So, to have just popped up and say, "Hey, how you doing, Seamus?" No. I'm sorry, but that person never knew me by the name Seamus. Fool me once in a while, but not all the time. And they monitor me. I mean, I find out from time to time they're saying things or whatever. They're just a sad group of people. The fact that people would do those things, it says a lot about them, and none of it good. But, you know, this guy was walking around like an idiot. Like I said, I could take my radio, I could put it on my hip, and when somebody walks by, I could turn it on or off. You know, so what? And as for carrying a gun, I carry a gun sometimes too. A lot of people up here do. But most people, I'm not concerned with them using it inappropriately, but with that group in Keene, I am definitely concerned. And I'm not sure if he can legally own a gun, because a lot of them have drug convictions and domestic violence convictions and various things like that. I have to take Lucky out, so I'm going to stop this video. But yeah, these people are nuts. They have a leader that looks just like Goebbels. Okay, he looks just like Goebbels, and he does the same things Goebbels did. So, Lucky. So, that tells you something, right? None of it good. Bye.